Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something very important. We will talk about daily English talking practice. Many people want to speak English fluently, but they feel shy. They wait for the perfect time. They wait until their grammar is perfect. They wait until they know many words. But the truth is simple. The best way to speak English is to start speaking English every day. Chapter 1. Start speaking English every day. Let me tell you something. When I first started speaking English daily, I was very nervous. My hands felt cold. My voice was not strong. I was thinking too much about mistakes. Every time I wanted to say something, I stopped myself. I thought, what if I say it wrong? Maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you also feel scared to speak. But let me tell you something important. Fear is normal. Every fluent speaker you see today was once afraid to speak. One day, I made a small decision. I decided that I would speak English every single day, even if it was just for 5 minutes. I did not wait for a partner. I did not wait for a class. I just started speaking to myself. I spoke about my day. I spoke about my plans. I spoke about what I was thinking. At first, it felt strange. I felt silly talking alone. But slowly, something changed. My mind started thinking in English. My mouth started moving more easily. My confidence started growing. Daily practice is powerful. When you speak every day, your brain becomes used to English. It stops feeling like a foreign language. It starts feeling natural. Even if you only know simple words, use them. Simple English is powerful English. You do not need big words to speak well. You only need courage and consistency. I remember one morning I woke up and looked outside. The sky was blue. The weather was nice. I said to myself in English, "Today is a beautiful day. I feel happy. I will work hard." It was a simple sentence, but it made me feel strong. I started doing this every morning. I described the weather. I described my feelings. I described my plans. This small habit changed my speaking ability. You can do the same. When you wake up, speak in English for 5 minutes. Talk about your dreams. Talk about what you will do today. Do not worry about grammar too much. Just speak. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be comfortable. Another important thing is repetition. When you repeat sentences daily, they become easy. For example, you can say, "My name is I live in a I am working on my English." Say it every day. After some days, you will say it without thinking. This is how fluency starts. Fluency is not magic. It is daily repetition. Sometimes you may feel bored. You may think, I am saying the same things every day. That is okay. Boredom is part of learning. But remember, athletes train every day. Singers practice every day. Why? Because daily practice builds skill. Speaking English is also a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. I also started recording my voice. At first, I did not like hearing my voice. It sounded strange. I heard many mistakes. But instead of feeling bad, I listened carefully. I corrected myself. The next day, I tried again. After some weeks, I noticed improvement. My sentences were longer. My pauses were shorter. My confidence was higher. All this happened because of daily practice. You do not need 1 hour every day. Even 10 minutes is enough if you are serious. The key is consistency. If you practice one day and then stop for 5 days, it will be hard. But if you practice every day, even for a short time, your progress will be steady. Let me share another small story. I had a friend who wanted to speak English fluently. He always said, "I will start next month." But next month never came. He kept waiting. Meanwhile, I kept practicing daily. After 6 months, my English improved a lot. His English stayed the same. The difference was not talent. The difference was daily action. Daily English talking practice also removes fear. The more you speak, the less scared you feel. Your brain understands that speaking English is safe. It is not dangerous. Slowly, your heart becomes calm when you speak. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after action. So start today. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for perfect grammar. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. Talk while walking. Talk while cooking. Talk while traveling. Make English part of your daily life. Remember, small daily steps create big results. If you speak just 10 minutes every day, in 1 month you will speak for 5 hours. In 1 year, you will speak for 60 hours. Imagine how much you can improve in 60 hours of speaking practice. Always remind yourself why you started. Maybe you want a better job.
Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to feel confident. Keep that reason in your heart. Let it push you every day. Daily English talking practice is not difficult. It only needs commitment. Speak simple sentences, repeat them, record yourself, listen and improve, and most importantly, never stop. This is the first step of your journey. Start speaking every day, and you will see the change. Chapter 2. Build confidence by speaking without fear. Let me tell you something simple. Fear is the biggest enemy of speaking English. Not grammar, not vocabulary, not pronunciation, fear. When I started speaking English every day, I was not confident. I was always thinking, what will people think about me? I compared myself to others. I listened to fluent speakers and felt small. I thought they were better than me. Maybe you also feel like this. Maybe you think your English is not good enough. But let me tell you something important. Nobody starts perfect. I remember one day when I tried to speak English in front of a small group. My voice was shaking. I forgot simple words. I made grammar mistakes. After I finished, I felt embarrassed. I wanted to stop practicing. But then I asked myself one question. If I stop now, will I improve? The answer was no, so I decided to continue. Confidence grows when you face your fear. If you avoid speaking, your fear becomes stronger. But if you speak daily, even with mistakes, your fear becomes weaker. It is like exercise. The first day is hard. The second day is still hard. But after many days, it becomes easier. One powerful method to build confidence is to speak without stopping. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Choose a topic. It can be your family, your job, your favorite food, or your city. Then speak continuously for 5 minutes. Do not stop. Do not think too much about grammar. Just keep talking. If you forget a word, explain it in another way. Keep going. When I started doing this exercise, it was very difficult. In the first week, I could only speak for 1 minute before stopping. My mind became blank. But I did not quit. I practiced every day. Slowly, 1 minute became 2 minutes. 2 minutes became 5 minutes. After 1 month, I could speak easily for 10 minutes. That is how confidence grows, step by step. Another important thing is to change your mindset about mistakes. Many learners think mistakes are bad, but mistakes are teachers. Every mistake shows you what to improve. When a child learns to walk, they fall many times, but they do not stop walking. They keep trying. Speaking English is the same. I made many funny mistakes. Once I wanted to say, I am bored, but I said, I am boring. Everyone laughed. I felt embarrassed at that moment. But later, I never forgot the difference between bored and boring. That mistake helped me remember forever. So do not be afraid of mistakes. They help you grow. Another way to build confidence is to practice positive self-talk. Before speaking, say to yourself, I can do this. I am improving every day. My English is getting better. These small sentences change your energy. Your brain listens to what you tell it. If you say, my English is bad, your brain believes it. If you say, I am improving, your brain believes that too. I also recommend speaking in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and speak. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but it helps you see your facial expressions. It helps you notice your body language. It also makes you more comfortable seeing yourself speak English. Recording yourself is another powerful tool. Record a short video every week. Talk about your week. Talk about what you learned. After 1 month, watch your first video again. You will see progress. This progress will increase your confidence. Do not compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Fluent speakers have practiced for years. You are just starting. Focus on your own journey. Every day you speak is a victory. Also, celebrate small wins. Did you speak for 5 minutes without stopping? Celebrate it. Did you talk to a stranger in English? Celebrate it. Small wins create big confidence. Sometimes you will have bad days. Some days your words will not come easily. Some days you will feel tired. That is normal. Do not let one bad day stop you. Speak again the next day. Confidence is built by consistency, not perfection. Another helpful idea is to join online speaking groups. There are many learners like you. When you speak with people who are also learning, you feel less pressure. You realize everyone makes mistakes. This makes speaking less scary. Remember, confidence does not come from thinking. It comes from doing. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Even if your English is simple, speak with strength. Speak clearly. Speak proudly. You are learning. That is something to be proud of. Let me remind you again. You do not need perfect grammar to speak confidently. You need courage. You need daily practice. And you need belief in yourself. Every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you grow. Every sentence you say makes you stronger. One day, you will look back and smile. You will remember how scared you were. And you will be proud because you did not give up. So starting today, make a promise to yourself. Speak without fear. Accept mistakes. Practice daily. And believe in your progress. Your confidence is waiting for you. All you need to do is speak. Chapter 3. Improve your vocabulary through daily talking. Let me tell you something simple. You do not need big words to speak good English. You need useful words. Words that you use every day. Words about your life, your work, your family, your dreams. When you focus on daily vocabulary, your speaking becomes easier and more natural. When I started my English journey, I tried to memorize difficult words. I wrote them in a notebook. I read them again and again. But when I tried to speak, I forgot them. I felt frustrated. Then I changed my method. Instead of learning hard words, I started learning simple and useful words. I learned words like busy, tired, excited, plan, improve, goal, practice. Then I used them every day in my speaking practice. For example, every night I spoke about my day. I said, "Today I was very busy. I had many tasks. I felt tired, but I am proud of myself." These were simple words, but they helped me express my feelings. Because I used them daily, I never forgot them. Daily talking helps your brain remember words naturally. When you use a word in a sentence, it becomes part of your memory. It is not just a word in a book, it becomes part of your real life. That is the power of speaking practice. One powerful method is the 5 new words rule. Every day, learn 5 new words. Only 5. Not 20, not 50. Just 5 useful words. Then use all 5 words in your speaking practice. Make sentences with them. Create a small story using those words. I remember one day I learned these 5 words: improve, confident, challenge, focus, habit. That day, I spoke for 10 minutes and said, "I want to improve my English. I want to become confident." Speaking daily is a challenge, but I will focus. I will make it a habit. Because I used those words again and again, they became natural for me. Another helpful idea is to describe everything around you. Look at your room and describe it in English. There is a table in front of me. The table is brown. On the table, there is a book and my phone. This simple exercise builds your daily vocabulary. You learn words connected to your real environment. When you go outside, describe what you see. The street is crowded. The weather is hot. People are walking quickly. This daily observation practice helps you think in English. It teaches your brain to connect words with real life. It is also important to learn words in groups. For example, learn words about feelings: happy, sad, nervous, excited, disappointed, proud. Then talk about your feelings every day. Or learn words about work: meeting, project, deadline, salary, colleague. Then talk about your job using those words. I used to keep a small notebook. Every time I heard a new word, I wrote it down. But I did not stop there. I made 3 sentences with each word. Speaking those sentences out loud helped me remember better. Writing is good, but speaking makes it stronger. Another mistake many learners make is learning words without context. They learn a word, but they do not know how to use it. That is why daily speaking is important. When you learn a word, ask yourself, how can I use this in my life? If you cannot use it, maybe it is not useful for you right now. For example, if you are a student, learn words connected to school. If you work in business, learn business vocabulary. If you love cooking, learn cooking words. Personal vocabulary is powerful vocabulary. Repetition is also very important. Do not learn a word once and forget it. Use it again tomorrow. Use it next week. The more you repeat, the stronger your memory becomes. I also recommend using new words in different sentences. If you learn the word confident, do not use it only one way. Say, I feel confident. Then say, she is confident. Then say, confidence is important. This helps you understand the word deeply. Another powerful tip is to replace simple words slowly. For example, instead of always saying very good, you can learn excellent. Instead of very bad, learn terrible. Instead of very happy, learn delighted. Do this step by step. Do not change everything at once. Daily English talking practice gives you a chance to test your vocabulary. When you speak, you notice which words you know and which words you need. If you stop while speaking because you do not know a word, write that word down later and learn it. Remember, vocabulary growth is a daily process. If you learn 5 words every day, in 1 month, you will learn 150 words. In 1 year, you will learn more than 1,800 words. Imagine how powerful your English will become. Do not feel stressed about learning too many words. Focus on small daily improvement. Speak daily. Use new words daily. Repeat daily. Words become powerful when you use them, and the best way to use them is by speaking every single day. Keep practicing. Keep learning. Keep speaking. Chapter 4. Think in English to speak naturally. Let me tell you about my experience. When I first started speaking English daily, I always translated. If I wanted to say something simple, it took me a long time. My brain was busy changing words from one language to another. Because of this, my speaking was slow. I paused a lot. Sometimes I forgot what I wanted to say. It was frustrating. One day, I decided to try something new. I told myself, from today, I will try to think in English, even if my sentences are very simple. At first, it was difficult. My brain automatically used my native language, but I did not give up. I started with small thoughts. For example, when I woke up in the morning, I said in my mind, I am tired. I want to sleep more. When I brushed my teeth, I thought, I am brushing my teeth. The water is cold. These were very simple sentences, but they helped me practice thinking in English. Thinking in English does not mean using difficult words. It means using simple words quickly. When you think in English, your brain becomes faster. You do not need to translate. Words come more easily. Your speaking becomes smoother. Another helpful exercise is to describe your actions in real time. If you are cooking, think, I am cutting vegetables. Now I am adding salt. The food smells good. If you are walking outside, think, the weather is hot. The street is crowded. I see many cars. This daily mental practice is very powerful. I remember when I first tried this method, my thoughts were very basic. Sometimes I did not know the English word for something. When that happened, I did not stop. I used simple words to explain it. For example, if I did not know the word elevator, I said in my mind, "The machine that takes people up and down." This helped me continue thinking in English without fear. Another powerful method is to ask yourself questions in English. For example, what am I going to do today? What is my goal this week? How do I feel right now? Then answer those questions in English. This creates a natural conversation inside your mind. When you practice this daily, something amazing happens. Your brain slowly accepts English as a normal language. It stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling familiar. And when English feels familiar, speaking becomes easier. It is also helpful to change small things in your daily life. For example, change your phone language to English. When you see words like settings, messages, battery, notifications every day, your brain remembers them naturally. I did this, and at first it was confusing. But after some time, I learned many new words without studying. Another good exercise is silent storytelling. At night, before sleeping, create a small story in your mind in English. It can be about your day or an imaginary story. For example, today I met a friend. We talked about our plans. Then we went to a cafe. This simple habit trains your brain to create sentences automatically. You may feel tired at the beginning. Your brain is working in a new way. That is normal. Do not stop. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Just like muscles grow with exercise, your English thinking grows with daily use. One important thing to remember is patience. You cannot switch to thinking in English in one day. It is a process. Start with 5 minutes a day, then increase it slowly. After some weeks, you will notice that English thoughts come naturally. I also noticed that when I started thinking in English, my confidence increased. I was not searching for words so much. I could respond faster in conversations. My sentences were still simple, but they were smoother. Do not worry about mistakes in your thoughts. Nobody can hear them. This is your private practice space. Use it freely. Make mistakes. Try new sentences. Play with words. Thinking in English is like building a bridge between your brain and your mouth. When you remove translation, that bridge becomes stronger. Your speaking becomes natural and faster. So starting today, practice thinking in English. Begin with small sentences. Describe your actions. Ask yourself questions. Tell yourself small stories. Be patient and consistent. Daily English talking practice becomes much easier when your mind already works in English. Train your thoughts, and your speech will improve automatically. Keep practicing. Keep thinking. Keep growing. Chapter 5. Use real-life situations to practice daily. Let me tell you something simple. The best classroom is your daily life. Every day you have many situations where you can practice speaking. You just need to be aware and use them. When I started my daily English talking practice, I only spoke when I had study time. But one day I realized something. I have many hours in a day. Why am I only using 10 minutes? So I decided to turn daily activities into English practice. For example, when I went to the market, I practiced speaking in my mind. I said, I need to buy vegetables. The tomatoes look fresh. The apples are expensive today. Even though I was not speaking to someone in English, I was training my brain to use English in real situations. If you are working, you can do the same. Before a meeting, say in English, "Today I have a meeting at 3 p.m. I need to prepare. I will share my ideas clearly." After work, you can say, "Today was busy. I completed my tasks. I learned something new." These simple, real-life sentences are powerful practice. I also started practicing English while traveling. If I was on a bus, I described what I saw. The bus is crowded. A child is sitting near the window. The driver is talking. This helped me build confidence because I was using English connected to real life. Another powerful idea is role-playing. Pretend you are in a real situation and speak as if it is happening. For example, imagine you are at a job interview. Practice answering questions like, "Tell me about yourself." Or imagine you are ordering food in a restaurant. Say, "I would like a cup of coffee and a sandwich." This kind of practice prepares you for real conversations. I remember practicing phone conversations alone. I pretended someone called me and asked about my day. I answered in English. At first, it felt strange, but later, when I had a real conversation in English, I felt ready. Practice makes real situations easier. If you have friends who also want to improve their English, practice together. Choose a situation and act it out. One person can be a customer. The other can be a shopkeeper. One can be a teacher. The other can be a student. This makes learning fun and practical. Even small daily tasks can become practice. When you cook, speak about the steps. When you clean your room, describe what you are doing. When you exercise, say, "I am feeling strong. This is difficult, but I will continue." The more you connect English to real actions, the more natural it becomes. Technology can also help you. You can send voice messages in English to your friends. You can record yourself talking about your day. You can join online speaking platforms where people talk about daily topics. Real communication builds real confidence. I once challenged myself to speak at least one sentence in English in every real situation where it was possible. Sometimes it was just saying thank you or have a nice day. But those small actions gave me courage. Slowly, I started having longer conversations. It is important to remember that real-life practice does not need to be perfect. It needs to be honest and consistent. You are learning. People understand that. Most people respect someone who is trying to speak a new language. Another helpful idea is to prepare common sentences for daily life. For example, prepare sentences for introducing yourself, asking for help, giving directions, or expressing opinions. Practice these sentences every day. When a real situation comes, you will feel ready. I also suggest talking about your goals in real-life language. For example, say, "I want to improve my English to get a better job." Or, "I am practicing every day because I want to feel confident." When you connect English to your dreams, your motivation becomes stronger. Real-life practice also reduces fear. When English becomes part of your normal day, it stops feeling like a school subject. It becomes a communication tool, and when it becomes a tool, you use it naturally. Remember, you do not need a special place or special time to practice. Your daily life is full of opportunities. Turn normal moments into English moments. Start small. Speak one sentence during an activity. Then increase it to 2 sentences. Slowly, you will see that English becomes a natural part of your routine. Daily English talking practice becomes powerful when it connects to your real world. Use your environment. Use your experiences. Use your daily actions. Keep practicing in real situations. Keep building courage. Keep moving forward. Chapter 6. Stay consistent and track your progress. Let me tell you something simple. Small daily practice is more powerful than long practice once in a while. Speaking for 10 minutes every day is better than speaking for 2 hours once a week. Consistency builds skill. Consistency builds confidence. Consistency builds fluency. When I started my English journey, I was very excited. I practiced a lot in the first week, but in the second week, I felt tired. I thought, maybe I will skip today. One skipped day became 2, then 3. Slowly, I lost my rhythm. I realized something important. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you moving. So I made a simple rule for myself. No 0 days. That means I must practice at least a little every single day. Even if I was busy, even if I was tired, I spoke English for at least 5 minutes. Some days I practiced for 30 minutes. Some days only 5. But I never stopped completely. You can create your own simple rule. For example, speak English every day before sleeping, or speak every morning after waking up. Choose a fixed time. When practice becomes part of your routine, it feels easier. Another powerful habit is tracking your progress. When you track your progress, you can see improvement. And when you see improvement, you feel motivated. I started using a simple notebook. Every day after practicing, I wrote the date and how many minutes I spoke. I also wrote one sentence about how I felt. For example, today I spoke for 10 minutes. I felt more confident. After 1 month, I looked back at my notebook. I saw many days of practice. I felt proud. That feeling pushed me to continue. You can also record a short video every week. Talk about your week. Save the video. After 1 month, watch your first video again. You will see the difference. Your pronunciation will improve. Your pauses will reduce. Your confidence will grow. Sometimes we improve slowly, so we do not notice it. But when we compare, we can see the change clearly. Another idea is to set small, weekly goals. For example, this week I will speak for at least 70 minutes. Or, this week I will learn 20 new words and use them in speaking. When you reach your goal, celebrate it. Small celebrations make the journey enjoyable. I also learned that bad days are normal. Some days your speaking will not feel smooth. Some days you will forget words. That does not mean you are failing. It just means you are human. The important thing is to continue the next day. Think about athletes. They train even when they do not feel perfect. They understand that progress takes time. Speaking English is also a skill that grows slowly. Be patient with yourself. Another helpful tip is to remind yourself why you started. Maybe you want to get a better job. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to speak confidently in public. Write your reason on a piece of paper. Put it where you can see it every day. When you feel tired, read it again. Consistency also means creating a simple system. Do not make your practice too complicated. Keep it simple. Speak about your day. Describe your plans. Talk about your goals. Use new words. Repeat sentences. That is enough. I remember after 3 months of daily practice, I noticed something amazing. I was thinking less and speaking more. Words came faster. I did not feel as nervous. This did not happen in one day. It happened because I practiced daily. Tracking progress also helps you see patterns. Maybe you speak better in the morning. Maybe you feel more confident after listening to English videos. When you track your journey, you understand what works best for you. Another good idea is to find a practice partner. You can encourage each other. You can share your daily progress. When someone asks, "Did you practice today?" it makes you more responsible. Remember, success in English speaking is not about talent. It is about daily effort. Even if your progress feels slow, do not stop. Slow progress is still progress. If you speak 10 minutes daily for 1 year, that is more than 60 hours of speaking practice. Imagine the improvement you will see. That is the power of consistency. Stay committed. Track your journey. Celebrate small wins. Learn from bad days. And never have a zero day. Your future fluent self is built by your daily actions today. Chapter 7. Enjoy the journey and never give up. Let me tell you something simple. Learning English is not a race. It is a journey. Every journey has easy days and difficult days. Some days you will speak smoothly. Some days you will struggle to form simple sentences. That is normal. What matters is that you keep going. When I was practicing English daily, I had days when I felt proud. I could speak for 10 or 15 minutes without stopping. I felt confident. But I also had days when I forgot easy words. I made simple mistakes. I felt disappointed. In those moments, I had two choices. I could quit, or I could continue. I chose to continue. One important lesson I learned is this: progress is not always visible immediately. Sometimes you improve slowly and you do not notice it. But if you continue daily practice, improvement will come. One day, you will realize that you are speaking more naturally. You will realize that you are not translating as much. You will realize that your fear is smaller. Another important thing is to enjoy your practice. Do not treat English like a punishment. Make it something fun. Talk about topics you love. If you like sports, speak about sports. If you like movies, describe your favorite movie. If you like business, talk about your ideas and plans. When I started enjoying my topics, my speaking became easier. I was not forcing myself. I was sharing my thoughts. English became a tool to express myself, not just a subject to study. You can also make your practice creative. Tell small stories. Imagine you are giving a speech. Pretend you are teaching someone. Create funny situations and speak about them. Creativity makes learning exciting. Another powerful habit is gratitude. Be thankful for your progress. Maybe your English is not perfect yet, but it is better than before. Appreciate that. Say to yourself, I am improving. I am proud of my effort. This positive attitude keeps you strong. Do not compare yourself to others. Some people may learn faster, some may speak better, but their journey is different from yours. Focus on your own improvement. Compare yourself to who you were last month, not to someone else. I remember meeting someone who spoke English very fluently. At first, I felt small, but then I asked him about his journey. He told me he had been practicing for many years. That conversation changed my mindset. I understood that fluency takes time. Another important lesson is patience. A tree does not grow in one day. You plant the seed, you water it daily. You wait. Slowly it grows. Your English is the same. Daily practice is like watering the plant. Even if you do not see growth every day, it is happening inside. There will be moments when you feel like stopping. In those moments, remember your reason. Why did you start? Maybe you want to speak confidently in meetings. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to inspire others. Keep your reason close to your heart. Also, celebrate your courage. Speaking a new language is brave. Many people are afraid to try, but you are practicing daily. That is something special. If you miss one day, do not feel guilty. Just start again the next day. Do not let one small break become a full stop. The important thing is to return and continue. Daily English talking practice is not only about language, it also builds discipline, confidence, and mental strength. When you prove to yourself that you can practice daily, you become stronger in other areas of life too. Look back at where you started. Remember the first time you tried to speak daily. Remember your fear. Now look at yourself. You have completed 7 chapters of learning about daily practice. That means you are serious. That means you care about your growth. The journey does not end here. This is just the beginning. Keep speaking every day. Keep thinking in English. Keep using real-life situations. Keep tracking your progress. And most importantly, keep enjoying the process. One day, you will speak English confidently without even thinking about it. And when that day comes, you will smile and remember that it all started with small daily practice. Thank you for being part of this journey. Keep learning, keep speaking, keep growing. Never give up.